What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute since I've posted anything, but I'm back. And before we get started with today's video, please give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. And please give me a comment as well. Let me know what you guys think about the video. So, now to get started with the video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace the rear rotors on your Mercedes Benz C250. Now, this might vary from model to model, whether you have the base model, the luxury, or the sport, or whether it's the C250, C300, C350, all of that. That might be a little bit different, but this is for the Mercedes Benz C250 Sport. And all I'm doing is just replacing my rotors. I don't really need to replace my brake pads, but if you need to replace your brake pads, this will also be a good video as well, so that way it's super easy. Now, let's get into the video. And we're back. So before we get started, some of the tools you will need are a rubber mallet, because you're gonna need to knock anything loose that might have the rotor stuck. And then you're also going to need an 18mm socket and wrench. You're going to also need a T30 hex. You're going to need a T30 hex like that. And you're also going to need an 18mm wrench as well. Now, as you can tell, I already have one side jacked up. This is the passenger side, and one thing I can't stress enough is when you do this, you want to make sure that your e-brake isn't engaged, because if it is, this is not going to come off. It's going to be locked in place. So now, let's get to the install. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is locate two 18mm bolts. One is up here at the top, which is really hard to get to, which is why you're going to need an 18mm wrench so you can get to this one, and then an 18mm socket for down here. So if you can't break these loose, that's why you're also going to need that mallet as well. Alright, so I've already broken this one loose because I've done it once before already. Then you're going to break this one loose as well. Once you do, obviously you're going to take those out, and once you take those out, you're going to need something to support the caliper right here, because you don't want to mess up the brake line or stretch that out, because that's really extremely crucial as well. Just going to loosen that. Alright, like I mentioned before too, I've already broken those 18mm bolts loose. And this is the quickest way to access your rotor right here. And if you need to replace your brake pads, this will probably be the easiest way, because once you take the entire caliper off, you can easily access the brake pads right here if they're worn out. Alright, like I mentioned before, this is also a really good time to change your brake pads if you need to. So this was super easy to do. Once you break those 18mm bolts loose, you can easily take the entire caliper off, then you can check your brake pads to see how worn they are. These are still doing pretty good, so I'm fine. I'm just going to replace my rotors, and now let's get to this part. And the one thing I can't stress enough too is when you are replacing this, make sure you have at least one or two bolts right here reconnected, so that way when you hammer everything loose, you don't have stuff falling off like the rotor. And then you're going to need the T30 to remove this bolt right here too. Alright, so that took a little bit more effort, but as you can tell, I haven't replaced these rotors at all since I've had the car, and it's a little rusted from a lot of the dust and dirt that's been building up in there for a while since I've had the car. Now, this would probably be a good time to clean all of this too. As you can tell, that's the old rotor, and we are going to go with these, just like that. But right now, Before I put this on, I'm gonna clean all this off. All right, and before we put all the bolts on and everything and finish up this side, you definitely wanna make sure that everything is lined up properly. Put in that first. Tighten everything back up, and that is pretty much it. I think it looks great. It looks absolutely amazing compared to the old one. Yeah, definitely looks better compared to the old one, and the process is the same for the other side. Well, there you have it, guys. That should just about do it for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Don't forget to hit that bell notification on your way out. And until next time, peace.